The world is a very difficult place to manage at the moment, but one thing that is peculiar is that we are in a very low volatility environment. Many institutions have built their businesses for a lot more volatility, you included. So my question to you, kind of first off, you're here at this massive banking conference. How many of the conversations you're having here are about consolidation to deal with the lack of volatility we now have in financial markets?
Well, I haven't actually had a lot of discussions around consolidation. I'm sorry to disappoint you there.
Okay.
But I think it is very much about partnerships. It is about how can you service clients in a much more efficient and more scalable manner with lower cost and complexity, and maybe also on different components, because as you say, if you only have a volatility-prone business, it's not so much fun when there's no volatility, right? So I think low cost and complexity, better experience, and scale are going to be very, very important components, but maybe also more collaboration so you can actually service your clients with more relevant stuff, but in an open banking environment.
Are you building the business now for an ongoing situation where we do have just kind of volatility on the floor forever and ever?
Well, actually, that's what we're doing now. We say this is the new normal. Whether that will happen, I think, if we see more volatility, that's a good thing. If we don't, it's probably a good thing to have prepared for that situation. So I think it's clearly not a world in balance, but with all the QE, negative interest rates, a risk appetite that is clearly, in my mind, dangerous now, because we have debt levels we've never seen in this world before. We have actually pretty anemic economic growth. We have social unrest many places. We have geopolitical tensions. We have trade wars. So it's not exactly a world in balance. But I think the prudent way to run a business is to say this is the new normal, and then plan for that, which is, of course, a lot about reducing cost and complexity and improving how you operate the business, which I think any business should do at all point of time anyway.
I guess the QE kind of point you mentioned there, absolutely relevant, as much as QE has been a huge factor in suppressing this volatility. So what kind of bank is Saxo going to be as a result of that? Are you going to be the bank you've traditionally been, which is serving high-end clients, high-end traders who use the platforms a lot? Or are you going to be servicing, let's call them more mom-and-pop type clients? You've recently you made an acquisition in the Netherlands, Big Bank. Those kinds of clients are not the kind of clients you traditionally serve. So the question everybody asks is, what is Saxo going to be?
Well, first of all, we are a multi-asset facilitator, so we can trade or invest in any macro cycle of the economy on a global level, in any currency, in any language you want. And I think the client types are very different, as you say. So some of them are really hedge fund-like, family office, very professional people. And in the other end of the spectrum, that'd be my mother who says, what should I do with my money? And really doesn't have a clue about it. So there you need to package, whether that's ETF allocated solutions delivered by BlackRock or other solutions, yeah. But I think it's the same machine behind it. But open API and different platforms can cater actually for many different types of clients.
But how you're struggling to make money at the moment, aren't you? How long is it going to be before you make money based on what you've just told me?
Well, I think what we are doing now is we're integrating the bank business, which has given us a lot more clients, a lot more client assets, and it will of course reduce cost and complexity quite significantly. So what we're seeing now is that just a little spike of volatility in August clearly helps, but as I said, we're preparing for this to be the new normal. So it's very much about doing the integration, lowering cost and complexity, and then there are actually quite a few ways also to do more business with your clients.
About a year ago, almost exactly, I think kind of this week or last week or this month definitely, China's Geeley bought a majority stake in Saxo Bank. We're all still wondering why. What is Geeley's objective? They've got Volvo Cars. Why have they got Saxo Bank?
Well, I think first of all it's probably a question to Geeley, but
what have they told you?
No, but I think clearly the car is a new device. Soon it will be driverless. You can already speak to your cars. We actually did demos on CarPlay where you can get charts up and get price information and so forth. But also Geeley is a very prominent business in China, and there's a financial reform going on. It's the same issues outside China as inside China. There's a technology revolution, change consumer behavior, margin compression, lots of regulation, and our technology stack is pretty unique to be actually a solution to that problem.
So you expect them to open up China for you?
Well, that's very much our plans, and we discuss that a lot. And when we have more tangible information, we'd be very happy to share it, of course.
Okay, but I'm curious as to why you've partnered with them. I genuinely, because you, as I've already indicated, it's tough to make money right now. If you can open up China, that is a game changer. When they came to you, kind of what's the quid pro quo in all of this?
No,
Did you say you can you open China for us?
Well, I think Geeley is in many ways a technology business, and Geeley is very prominent in China, as I said, and there is a need to change these things. So we are working with Geeley, with regulators, finding ways into China, and when we are more firm on that, of course, we'll talk about it. But clearly, the idea for Chairman Li Shufu is, of course, to leverage the technology and the business model that Saxo have built, and see whether we can actually deploy part or all of that in China. So we are working on that as we speak, and that, of course, is a very, very interesting proposition, as you say, but it's too early days to be more specific around that.